Good afternoon and welcome to BJC Halacha A number 1572. Halacha A keeps the Yetzer Hara way. Once again, dedicated in loving memory of Daniela Bas Tzvi and Neshama Shevan Aliyah. And we're in the new chapter, the four domains with regard to Shabbos. We talked about the Makom Patur. Today we're going to talk about the private domain. What is a private domain? So you think, of course I know what a private domain is, but let's see. It is a place that is at least 4 tvachim by 4 tvachim. Again, a tefach is about 3.2 inches, so size of a fifth, so 4 by 4, right? Which is sufficiently significant to be of use, and is surrounded by partitions, at least 10 tvachim high, so it has to be about 10 of these high, about 40 inches, let's say. Even if the partitions are not complete. It says in the footnote, the thickness of the walls is not included, okay? Fine. A trench, 10 tvachim deep and 4 tvachim wide, has the same halacha, the same law as a partition. Similarly, the same is true of a hole, 10 tvachim deep and 4 tvachim by 4 tvachim wide, and also a mound, 10 tvachim high and 4 tvachim by 4 tvachim wide. Says the footnote regarding the hole, he says, the walls of a private domain have to be visible. If a hole is filled with water, it is a private domain. But if it is filled with fruit, etc., it is not, even if you intend to remove the fruit. Okay, that's the Magen Avram, see Mishnah Berurah. If the water freezes, see Magen Avram. Okay, so it's a little bit complicated, but for the most part, the hole, if it's 10 tvachim deep and 4 by 4 tvachim wide, it is a private domain as well. Okay. Even a vessel such as a box, if it is 10 tvachim high or a round barrel that is large enough to circumscribe a 4 by 4 square, all of these, even if they are in a public domain, are in a carmelis, and we'll learn what a carmelis is soon. But again, it's sort of like the in-between of a private and public domain. So you have that private domain structure within a public domain are considered separate premises of their own and constitute a private domain. So I guess think of like a sukkah in the middle of a public domain. That's going into from a public domain into a private domain, right? Okay. The open space over a private domain is considered a private domain until the sky. The tops of the walls that surround a private domain are also considered a private domain. If there are holes on the walls on the side facing a private domain, even if they run through from side to side, since they can be used from the private domain, they are insignificant in comparison to the wall and therefore are considered as part of a private domain. They're considered as a private domain. When the holes are only on the outside of the wall, this will be explained in the following paragraph. Okay, and that concludes today's halacha. Thanks for listening. To sponsor feature halacha 36 100 for the gold. See you tomorrow.